fan of basketball. I am Sheena Maynarca.
I am Wilbert Archiste. I'm Harold Macu.
I'm Erwin Jason Das.
I'm Jeffrey Sigal.
I'm Joshua Ragindi.
I'm James Vincent Karanay.
I'm Joshua Carolino. I'm Marginal Cardona.
And I'm Brian James Bautista Disco.
I'm Mark James Estefra.
History of basketball.
Basketball is the popular and widely played sport that originated in the late 19th century. It was invented by Dr. James Naismith, a Canadian physical education instructor in December 1891.
Naismith developed the game as a way to keep his students active during the winter months. The first game of basketball was played with a soccer ball and two pitch baskets as goals. The objective of the game was to throw the ball into the opposing team's basket while adhering to certain rules. These rules included no running with the ball, no holding, and no tackling. As the sports gained popularity, several modifications and improvements were made. In 1893, the first women's basketball game was played at Smith College in Northampton, Massachusetts. The first professional basketball league, the National Basketball League, NBL, was formed in 1898. Over the years, the sport continued to evolve with the introduction of dribbling, the three-point line, and shot clock.
The National Basketball Association (NBA) was founded in 1946 and has since become the premier professional basketball league in the world. Today, basketball is played at various levels from recreational leagues to international competitions like the Olympic Games. It has, it has millions of fans worldwide and has produced numerous legendary players who have left a lasting impact on the sport. The history of basketball is a testament to the enduring popularity and global appeal of the game.
Good morning, everyone. My topic is all about understanding the mechanics of interface, changing basketball, a guide for beginners. So, the importance of proper positioning. First, center of the court leverage. Aim to position themselves at the center of the court, typically near the mid-court line. This allows them to have a balanced view of the entire playing area, equivalence from all players. Second, angle of view. Referees strive to maintain optimal angles of view to accurately assess player action and detect fouls or violation. By positioning himself at an angle, referees can be better players movement and anticipate potential infractions. Third, coverage of the specific areas. Referees are assigned to cover specific areas of the court, such as the baseline, the three-point line, or the key area. This ensures that all areas of the court are meticulously monitored, minimizing blind spot and ensuring fair efficiency. Fourth, movement with the play. Referees must move along with the flow of the game, adjusting their positioning at the action shift across the court. This allows them to maintain proximity to relevant player interactions and promptly respond to any infractions or violations. And the last, communication with fellow officials. Proper positioning also involves effective communication and coordination with other officials of the court. Referees need to be aware of their college's positions to ensure comprehensive coverage and minimize missed calls or conflicting decisions. So,
Good morning, everyone. My topic is essential signals and whistle techniques. In basketball, signal and whistle techniques are used by referees and coaches to communicate with players and indicate various game situations. Here are some essential signal and whistle techniques commonly used in basketball. First is foul signals. Foul signals. Referees use specific hand signals to indicate fouls committed by players. Examples: blocking foul. The referee extends one arm horizontally across the chest. Second is charging foul. The referee extends one arm diagonally downward across the body. Next is shooting foul. The referee raises one arm vertically above the head. Violation signals. Violation signals. Referees use hand signals to indicate violations such as traveling, double dribble, or carrying the ball. Examples: traveling. The referee extends both arms horizontally in front of the body, palms facing downward, and rotates them in a circular motion. Double dribble. The referee taps one closed fist on top of the other hand. Then next, timeouts. Timeouts. Coaches can call timeouts to stop the game and discuss strategies with their team. They usually make a T sign with their hands to signal the timeout request. Then next, substitution signals. Substitution signals. Coaches use hand signals to indicate player substitutions. They may raise a certain number of fingers to indicate the player's jersey number who will be substitute. Next, whistle techniques. Whistle techniques. The referee's whistle is used to signal the start and stop of play as well as to indicate violations or fouls. Different whistle patterns and durations can convey different meanings, such as a quick whistle for a minor violation or a long whistle for a more serious foul. That's all.
Good day everyone, I'm Jeffrey Sikat and I'm going to discuss the communication techniques. So first one is verbal communication. Players should communicate verbally with each other, calling out plays, switches, and defensive assignments. Verbal communication, it is using spoken word like talking or talking in the cell phone. So for example of verbal communication, screen left. This is an example of verbal communication in basketball. When a player calls out screen left, they are indicating to their teammate that they should expect a screen from the left side. Number 2, hand signal. Hand signals are often used to convey plays or defensive strategies, especially in noisy environments, where verbal communication may be difficult. So there are some example of hand signal. So traveling, technical foul. Number 3, eye contact. Eye contact, players can use eye contact to communicate non-verbally on the court. It is used para di malaman ng kalaban yung gagawin yung strategy or techniques sa paglalaro. Number 4, body language. Body language can convey a lot on the basketball court. This includes gestures, facial expressions, how players stand, and their overall attitude. It's like a silent language that players use to show what they are thinking and convey messages to teammates, opponents, and coaches. Number 5. Bench communication. Bench communication coaches and players on the bench play a crucial role in communication. They can analyze the game, offer insight, and provide encouragement to players on the court. Number 6. Timeout discussions. During timeouts, coaches and players gather to discuss strategies, make adjustments, and address any issues that arise during the game. Effective communication during timeouts can turn the tide of the game. So, that's all. Thank you very much.
Our topic is function and responsibilities of referees and fire scorer, recorders, or officiating table.
Basketball officials. In basketball, an official, usually called a referee, enforces the rule and maintains order in the game. The title of official also applies to the scorer and timekeepers as well as other personnel that have an active task in maintaining the game.
What are the officiating officials in basketball? The minimum number is 5. A referee and unfair scorer, a time and shot clock operator. In some cases, 8 officials are used in a lineup. Comparison referee to umpires, shot clock operators, 2 scorers, and 2 timers. The ball may be thrown in any direction with one or both hands.
Type of official. Referee. To ensure the game is played safely and fairly, the referee enforces the rules of the game, and in the game will make a handled decision determining when a violation or foul occurs and then stopping the game to issue the correct penalty. There is one lead referee and 1 or 2 umpires depending on whether there are 2 or 3 person group. In the NBA, the lead official is called the pro chief with 1 referee and 1 umpire.
Umpires. An official who watches a game or match closely to enforce the rules and appropriate on matters arising from the play.
Difference between umpire and referee. An umpire refers to sports officials who apply their service to various kinds of sports competitions. Where a referee is the person who ensures that all the rules and regulations of the game are correctly followed while the game is in progress.
Scorer. The scorekeeper's primary responsibility is to accurately record the game score. A scorekeeper might also be responsible for keeping the time, starting and stopping the clock according to the rules of the game.
Timekeeper are responsible for monitoring game time, but their daily function is tracking basketball time. That means the timekeeper is charged with training about the duties of timekeeping. According to the regulation of basketball, they should be familiar with all rules and timing obligations in the game.
Shot clock operator. Duties: the shot clock is used for the entire game, including overtime period. The shot clock operator should control a separate timing device with a horn that shall have a sound listening and different from that of the game clock. All alternate timing device shall be available.
How do basketball officials communicate? signal and location communication tool. Clear and concise communication using proper hand signals and body language, together with the commanding voice, unnecessary ingredients for successful location, signaling at the spot. When you call a foul or violation, your body language sends a message to everyone watching.
What classification do officials need in basketball? To become a referee, you likely need a high school diploma and sports specific referee. Training is often required. Referee experience at high school or minor league level may be necessary before moving to the professional level. What are the good qualities and uses of referees? Integrity. The great sport officials, the last areas of punishment. As well, sweat officiating is a game of angels and positioning. Officiating has a prescribed movement and starting position. Judgment, communication, consistency, courage, common sense. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We are discussing for today. Our topic for today is all about hand signals and officiating basketball. So first, hand signals are an essential aspect of officiating basketball games. They serve as a universal language that referees uses to communicate decisions and calls to players, coaches, and spectators on the court. These signals are standardized across all levels of basketball, ensuring consistency and clarity in officiating.
The first hand signal is jump ball. A jump ball in basketball is a method used to start or resume play. It occurs when two opposing players simultaneously gain possession of the ball, or when the referees are unsure of which team should be awarded possession. In this situation, the referees toss the ball into the air at the center circle, and two players from each team jump to try to tap the or catch the ball to gain possession of the ball.
Ang hand signal ng jump ball is ganon. Yung ano kasi, nagagawan sila sa bola, tapos yun, tatawagin ng referee na jump ball.
So next is kicking. In basketball, kicking refers to a player intentionally striking the ball with their foot or leg. It's typically considered a violation unless it's unintentional or part of a defensive play where the defender's leg or foot is in a natural position.
Yung signal ng kicking is ganito. Yung kicking, kapag nasipa yung bola, yun yung tatawaging kicking. Violation.
The next is technical foul. A technical foul is a violation in which various sports, including basketball, usually for unsportsmanlike conduct or other infractions like excessive arguing with referees or coaches, disrespectful behavior or delay of game. It typically results in a free throw or a point awarded to the opposing team, along with potential penalties like player ejection or foul.
Ang signal na technical is gano'n. Tapos yung technical, yung parang yung isang player hindi niya matanggap yung pagkakamali niya, parang gano'n. Parang sinisisi niya yung referee, tapos yung referee tatawagin ng technical yung player. Dahil hindi siya makaintindi ba?
So next is traveling violation. A traveling violation, also known simply as traveling, is a basketball infraction that occurs when a player holding the ball moves one or both of their feet illegally without dribbling. If a player moves their pivot foot or takes too many steps without dribbling, it is considered traveling, resulting in a turnover where possession of the ball is awarded to the opposing team.
Signal of traveling violation. Ganun. Yung traveling violation, pag yung kakakuha mo ng bola, tapos inuna mo yung step bago ang dribble, yun ang tinatawag na traveling. And meron pa isa, kapag nag-drive ka ng bola, tapos nakatatlong step ka, tatawagin yung traveling yun.
Next is double dribble. In basketball, a double dribble violation occurs when a player dribbles the ball with both hands simultaneously or resumes dribbling after having spotted it, and then dribbles again. Essentially, it's dribbling the ball, stopping and then dribbling again without shooting the ball in between. A double dribble results in a turnover with possession of the ball awarded to the opposing team.
Double dribble signals. Yung ano ng double dribble is yung habang nag-dribble ka, tapos nahawakan mo ng dalawang kamay, tapos naitalbog mo, yun yung tatawagin double dribble.
So next is 3 seconds violation. In a basketball, the 3 seconds violation occurs when an offensive player remains in the paint, also known as the paint, for more than 3 seconds while their team has possession of the ball. This law aims to prevent players from camping out near the basket for too long, ensuring fair play and keeping the game going.
Ang signal ng 3 second violation is gano'n. Yung pag yung nag-stay ka sa ilalim ng ring, tapos hindi ka gumagalaw, parang hindi ka lang malabas-labas doon sa parang may ng free throw, part ng free throw. Tapos tatawagan ka ng 3 second violation.
Next is timeout. In basketball, a timeout is a break in the game called by either team, coach, or a player on the court. Timeouts are typically used to strategize, big substitution, or give players a rest. Each team is typically allotted a certain number of timeouts per game, depending on the leaguer's role. Timeout duration can vary, but it is usually around 60 to 90 seconds.
Timeout signal. Yung timeout signal is parang ginagamit nila para mapagplanuhan yung mga yung mga dapat nilang gagawin. Tapos para makapagpahinga din yung mga player. And bukod sa lahat, yung pag marami ng turnover yung mga players nila is gagamitin na nila yung timeout.
So next is substitution. Substitution in basketball is the fact of replacing one player on the court with another player. Team's bench coaches make substitution strategically to manage player fatigue, match-up, or tactical adjustment during the game. Substitution can occur during breaks in play such as timeouts or fouls, and sometimes during live play if the team has possession of the ball, it calls for a substitution.
Time of substitution is gano'n. Tatawagin yung player na papasok na.
So, hand signals are essential aspect of officiating basketball games. They serve as a universal language that referees use to communicate decisions and calls to players, coaches, and spectators on the court. These signals are standardized across all levels of basketball, ensuring consistency and clarity of communication. So that's all. Thank you.